The player facing the most intense line of questioning today was quarterback Shaun White, who, no matter what hand he's dealt, always has something up his sleeve to keep a grip on the starting quarterback position. For decades, a Sugar Bowl invite was all any SEC team wanted under the tree. But this year, there have been a bunch of Grinches across the country saying the only bowl games that matter are the ones on New Year's Eve, and Auburn just refuses to accept that lump of coal. That heart has been filled with joy and broken here at Talladega. It was in this parking lot on July 12, 1993, where Davey Allison tried to land a helicopter. Bob Wells was nicknamed Chief because before there were stripes, there was a badge. Wells served for 46 years with the Birmingham Fire Department. Even though this is a neutral site game by definition, we are smack dab in the middle of Vol country. The moment the Sugar Bowl ends, there will be 4 guys vying to be Auburn's next ace. Current fan heartthrob Jarrett Stidham, the diamond of last year's recruiting class Woody Barrett, the all-but-forgotten club John Franklin III, and the guy that just keeps digging away, Shaun White the Spade. In New Orleans, Chris Womack, CBS 42 Sports.
Whoop. That was not so good.
That phrase is a finishing touch on a lot of backswings.
You hit your good shots and you hit your bad shots, and you just hope at the end of the day you have more goods than bads.
Lucian Newman isn't one of those.
I'm a very competitive kind of guy, and I've been playing since I was 7 years old.
The 6'6" powerhouse excelled on the links, gridiron, and court growing up, but golf was always his game. In 2005, the game changed on a cold January hunting trip. Newman set his rifle down to slide his gloves on when the trigger pulled. His left elbow was the bullseye.
I really didn't have any, thoughts of mortality or dying at that point. It's one of those things that hurts pretty bad, and you're kind of trying to figure out what you're going to do.
That move ended up being an amputation to his left arm, which could be considered a handicap for a surgeon.
I'm sure that there's some discussion amongst family members that understand that they're going to see a surgeon that has one arm. We work as a team, and most surgeons work as a team.
While his job is a team sport,
frankly, most surgeries are actually fairly simple and fairly mundane.
His love is a solo deal. But like golf is about having more good than bad, so is Dr. Lucian Newman.
It's a matter of using your talents and, using the tools that we've created to help us get along.
Those tools include his golfing prosthetic.
You put the shaft through the device, and then I've got a little O-ring inside that makes it stop where you would want it to stop normally.
But Newman doesn't see it as a handicap.
Golf is a big muscle sport, and so a good golf swing really doesn't involve the hands and the arms.
He's a national amputee champion several times over. But his success isn't due to what's in his bag. It's what's in his heart.
But don't give up. I mean, you're never over. It's never over till you take your last breath.
And that way, every day can be a good day. In Gadsden, Chris Womack, CBS 42 Sports. Literature is filled with big dreams and big heroes fulfilling them. It's Troy Elliott's other passion. Teacher at Sardis High School by day, defensive coordinator at the middle school by night.
Do I want to be like every other stereotypical coach that taught history and everything?
Banded together his Foresters.
Once you get past the desks, there's nothing stereotypical about Elliott's classroom.
Okay.
His camaraderie with the students, his way to bring difficult topics down is exceptional.
I don't have it in me just to be super strict. I have to kind of handle it my way.
The guys in the back that are tall, they're talented.
Which sounds a lot like
scripted. This is well done.
Another leader of young minds. When Les Miles lost his job at LSU, Elliott saw the chance to write his own personal next chapter.
Hugh Freeze, Gus Malzahn, these are people that made the jump from high school to college and had a good bit of success, and I've always kind of maintained that eventually a middle school coach needs to get his opportunity.
So the teacher practiced what he preaches and sat down to write.
No, I told him that day that it was not his best work.
His audience? LSU Athletics Director Joe Oliva. Elliott wrote a letter touting his credentials to take over the Tigers.
I've made a couple of trips to New Orleans. I eat at Popeyes a lot. I use a lot of Tony Chachere's, so I feel like I just have a connection to the people of Louisiana.
I thought that he was honest to God real. This was my chance. I thought it was legit until like 2 days later.
Not legit, but definitely viral. The defensive guru from a city that could fit every resident in Tiger Stadium nearly 60 times over was the internet's knight in Sardis White. The only problem, Ed Orgeron has a head start on him as the interim coach.
He has that success with like 4- and 5-star athletes. If he can teach an offensive lineman to pull when he doesn't have any hair under his arms yet, I think that would be a bigger accomplishment. So he's good, but I don't know if we're quite comparable.
The English teacher is still holding out hope that tall tiger tales do happen. Or at least that Sardis will match what he could have made at LSU.
I think that the minimum's like $4 million.
No, he's not worth the $4 million.
Some hopes are forever dashed by the sword of Elliott's humor.
I was dreaming that I was playing on the defensive line for LSU. Then I woke up and I cried.
But the best stories
The bulb's dead.
are the ones with a twist.
If there were money in education, we'd be able just to go grab a new bulb from the supply closet.
The Cubs win the World Series. Donald Trump's running for president. Prince died. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff that's happened in 2016, so I don't think me getting an SEC job is the most outrageous thing people are going to hear this year.
Chris Womack, CBS 42 Sports. There's an Auburn family reunion nearly every night. Screams and passion are commonplace across the country at football and basketball games.
This isn't football or basketball?
No, this is something a little different.
I was shocked, actually. Wow, this many people are into gymnastics.
Yes, this many are into the sport of grace and poise. More than 6,000 every time the Tigers enter Auburn Arena.
Most of them just assumed it was, don't talk, don't clap, be very quiet.
But there are a few that never made that assumption.
It was...
They call themselves the Gymnasties.
Oh, yeah!
It was kind of hysterical.
Because it's gymnastics, and we make it nasty.
It's definitely weird being shirtless in a group with people I don't know and cheering for a sport I knew nothing about.
We're trying to get people to understand that this is a rowdy environment. We want a rowdy environment.
Exhibit A is this student group who specialize in drawing attention.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Prepare for competition. When the opponent tries to focus on the floor exercise.
Talk to the hand, girl.
By copying their poses.
I don't know how that started. I don't know why we decided to do that.
When they look at us and we're just flaunting it, it's the most beautiful thing.
Oh, I feel probably more graceful than some of the girls out there, I'm sure.
No, they are not nearly as graceful as the gymnasts. However, I think many people want to watch them as much as they want to watch the gymnasts.
Downward facing crab.
But the Gymnasties aren't there to steal the show. Their role is to show that every member of the Auburn family is important, whether they wear cleats or go barefoot.
Being part of the Auburn family means we're excited about Auburn no matter what it is.
Just to have somebody outside the sport really appreciate what you do and really show their appreciation for what you do.
This is where I'm at home, and I love doing this so much. It honestly makes me happy.
And their family is happy to have them. In Auburn, Chris Womack, CBS 42 Sports. Well, it looks like Brian DeBall is the man for Nick Saban. Reports saying the Patriots assistant will be the new offensive coordinator for the Crimson Tide. And it's a bit of a reunion for Saban. DeBall got his start in coaching as a grad assistant at Michigan State, while Nick Saban was the head coach there. But there will be no reunion for Saban and former West Virginia QB Clint Trickett. You see, Trickett was Saban's daughter's first kiss, but he's kissing her father goodbye, passing on a chance to be a grad assistant in T-Town to join Lane Kiffin's staff at Florida Atlantic. Well, the Alabama baseball team is off and running, as in the Greg Goff era, officially starting today with the Tide's opening game against Presbyterian. Out to the new Joe we go for the evening tilt with the Blue Hose. Top of the second, A.J. Prealex driving one to center field. That'll bring in the tying run 1-all. But in the third, Bama down 2-1 until Chandler Taylor rips one deep to left center. Give him 3 bags and the tying run as Hunter Alexander crosses the plate. To the fourth now, Kobe Vance drives it to center field for the RBI single. Bama takes a 4-2 lead, and they go on to win this one 4-3. The Auburn Tigers also start things off on the right foot. They get the win over George Washington, 9-0, your final there. Keegan Thompson goes 6 innings pitched, no runs, and only 4 hits. The two teams will meet again tomorrow for a doubleheader. Last season, the Auburn Tigers ended a 117-match losing streak on the gymnastics mat to Alabama. That win streak, short-lived though. Alabama has already bested Auburn earlier this season at the BJCC. The two meeting again tonight in Coleman Coliseum. So out to the Iron Bowl of gymnastics, as they call it, Alabama and Auburn. We'll start out on the bars with the Auburn's Emma Engler. Great dismount here. She leads Auburn in that event, 9.9 for her. But Bama takes a slight lead after the first rotation. To the beam, Nikki Guerrero with the highest score of the night, 9.975. Beautiful routine there. But then MJ Rott, the great pass on the floor routine. She would pace the Tigers with a 9.825, but the floor is where Bama makes their hay. The freshman Winter Childers had a fantastic meet. She finishes second all-around behind teammate Kiana Winston. Bama wins it 197.350 to 196.450. High school basketball time. Parker taking on Fort Payne, but it's the Herd bringing all the pain. Cameron Beard weaves through traffic. Nice reverse layup for the finish. The Thundering Herd stampede in this one, 70-47. Ramsey taking on the Fort Payne girls in the 6A round of 16. Courtney Lee for 3, count it. The Rams move on to face Homewood again this season, winning 62-39. Speaking of Homewood, their girls looking for win number 30 this season, taking on Brewer. Off the block by Tori Webb, Kalia Cunningham finds Hannah Barber on the outlet, and she's going to hit Asia Wayne. No-look pass for the easy deuce. Patriots make it look easy. They coast to a 73-34 win. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We've got more WIAT 42 news on the other side of the break. Stay with us.